All right. News out that Trevon Diggs will be out for the rest or the remainder of the season. All right, so with that being said, the Cowboys, I would say that we are one crazy team of a slew of injuries. We can go back and forth and talk about did the Cowboys better prepare themselves for the 2024 season, and one can argue they didn't. I would say this, if you're coming off of an ACL situation, you don't want to rush it because these are the things that can happen. You overcompensate or you play favor on other legs, and then you have these type of things. So Jay Glazer report this hit keeps coming for the Dallas Cowboys in a year where they have been decimated by injuries. Another star is down for the year. Pro Bowler, All-Pro, cornerback Trevon Diggs is not only out for tomorrow, but he will be set to be out for the remainder of the season. Now, my thing is with Trevon Diggs, now we know coming off of that ACL, it was a road of recovery. I said this, instead of rushing him out there, the Cowboys should have, that's the operative word, should have went and got a veteran guy that can help alleviate some of the pressures so that you don't have to rush him out there. What happened before the season even kicked off and popped off, Bland got hurt. By Bland being hurt as well as Trevon Diggs coming off of that ACL thing, it forced a lot of irregularities. And on top of that, you have to pay attention to the fact that they were learning a new defense. So it's not, or it should not be, an element of surprise where the Cowboys were at by them being so down and so out and trying to learn a new defense, because when you think about it, Sam Williams out. My guy, Trevon Diggs, scrambling and scraping to get back to the goodness and graces. On top of that, when you think of as well, is when you think of the facts that you had so many injuries and the front office, by them lack of sense of urgency, by them having the inability to think ahead, causes these type of things to show up at the right time that equates to the wrong time for the Cowboys. Now, granted, shout out to my guy Brandon Laurie. He states this right here, that here are some Cowboy players that missed at least 4 games or more this season: Dak Prescott, Zach Martin, as well as Brandon Cook, Michael Parsons, Marshawn Nealon, D-Law, Trevon Diggs, Carsons, as well as Sam Williams and DeRon Bland. And there should have been options where the Cowboys go and they go and fill it in with a veteran guy or go fill it in with trade acquisitions, but they didn't. They rest on the fact that they were 12-5, 12-5, 12-5, and they thought that this team was pretty much invincible. By the way, Mike McCarthy been stringing things together, but now is at his fullness of the Cowboys' inability to make the necessary adjustments. Now, if you look at Trevon Diggs for the 2024 season, his overall grade, if you go by PFF and these sorts of things, is 56.6. Pass rush grade, really, he don't really chase the quarterback or anything like that or come down and field. So he got a 60 there, coverage 60.3. All-time lows, by the way, 43.9. One can argue out of 213 cornerbacks, he's the 187th cornerback. Because people said he's favored. He favored his leg. He didn't go down and wrap. He didn't go down and field. So he still had 2 INTs for the season, 34 solo tackles, 1 total pressure, and 33 receptions allowed. All of those numbers there are not gaudy numbers. It was expected because the man coming off of an ACL. So when you look at everything, and we talking about not just the owner, but the owner is the general manager. And what the general manager is supposed to do is figure out ways to replace you and you and you. They're supposed to figure out ways to keep the team afloat with creativity, with competition. And what we did, we got a guy named Joshua Butler. He helped out, but he got hurt. Also, we had a guy by the name of A.O. He wet the bed. Remember him? He single-handedly lost that game for us versus Cincinnati. Also, you had guys like Carsons, whereas you can go back and look at multitudes of games where there are 40-yard catches on him, 50-yard catches on him. Hey, misconfused situations allowing 28 yards on him. So cornerbacks, by the way, are very pivotal. But the Cowboys front office never looked at that way and pretty much said, hey, we are a draft and developing team, and we can find another Bland, right? Or we can find another Diggs. And that didn't happen, ladies and gentlemen. So you got burned. And we had one point a guy named Andre Booth. Yeah. Who's getting burnt left and right. But to go back to this Trevon Diggs situation, yes, this is the thing where the Cowboys dropped the ball ultimately, in my opinion, because they should have went into this particular season and go ahead and get a veteran guy, knowingly that you let Stephon Gilmore go, right? So you pretty much got to add that into a loss, and you never replace. As a general manager, as a team in general, you must replenish and replace those things that you lose. You can't lean on or depend 1,000% on your draft picks, because you will get things like this, and your season, by the way, will look just like this. So not to rain on anybody's parade, but this is the Cowboys way, and this is how the Cowboys been operating, as these type of ways, whereas they don't see the future, or they don't plan right or forecast right. Post me your thoughts, post me your concerns down below. Cowboy Nation, hey, another one bite the dust. That's what they say. Another one bite the dust. But, hey, all jokes aside, hey, we got 4 more games. So, hey, let's see what these guys can do from here. Evaluation for the nation. Tankathon is at its fullness right now, because we do have the 12th spot. And, hey, they was telling me that predicated to what happens in these last 4 games, they still looking at Mike McCarthy in a certain way. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Let me see who they got us as a mock from Tankathon. Hey, they got us going with Luther. Not Vandross, but Burden. I know some of y'all would take that. Yeah. And then in the second round, they got us going with Amarion. Come on, baby. Hey, we'll be explosive if that happened. Come on with it. Shout out to Tankathon. And, hey, get back and get right, Trevon Diggs. We're rooting for you still, bro. Speedy recovery. I don't even have to bring up Overshawn and them. It's terrible. Injuries left, injuries right. Injuries everywhere in sight. Come on with it. Yep.